Hi, it's Dick Smith here and I'm bloody angry. I'm going to give you a story of millions of dollars being extorted out of hundreds and thousands of small Australian family businesses and being shipped off to a few billionaires in the United States. It's an outrageous story. Please send this video around to everyone because we can do something about it. Let me tell you the story. A couple of weeks ago I was listening to Macca on Australia All Over, That's Wonderful show, and a bloke came on who owned a motel and he said,
also, just one other thing, Maggot. You've probably seen this annoying female that runs around and attacks our TV every night telling us it's cheaper to buy online. Just want to let people know that it's far easier. If you contact the motel direct, you'll get a better deal than you will with those guys. And all the money that they're charging motels anywhere between 15 and 30% in commission. And all that money goes overseas. And they're not paying tax in Australia either.
Now, I was incredibly mystified because I go to my iPhone to look up a hotel. I key in something like, Mudgee Accommodation, and of course all these other names come up, What If and Trivago and Bookings.com and so forth, and I didn't know much about them. So I've done a bit of checking, and what I found out, you can't believe, it just gets me so angry as an Australian, because what's happening is millions and millions of dollars that should stay in our country towns is being shipped off. And it's like extortion. It's the same as extortion because it's not done in a voluntary way. And these bloody big American companies are not offering us anything. We've been conned. So I'll tell you what happens. It's quite amazing that in the old days, of course, you just go to the Yellow Pages when you wanted to look up a country motel. But if you do it these days, you use your phone, you key in Mudgee Accommodation, and it comes up with all of these organisations. And I did a bit of checking round, and even though there's lots of them, in fact, it's two huge American companies, and they're like leeches because they offer nothing. If you want to book a motel in Mudgee, you can ring them up if you wanted to, or you can go directly to their website. But you won't believe it, 50% of Australians now use these websites because they've fallen for the lie that they're cheaper. And it's almost impossible to find the family business website. You look on your phone and it's got What If, and then you do, there's the name of the family website, but you find it's subheaded Trivago. Finally, if you go about 3 pages down, you find the direct website where you can book directly, get the best price, and the money stays in Australia. Now, let me explain to you what happens when 50% of Australians book. Up to 30%, sometimes more, is sent to these two huge American multinationals that are basically controlled by a couple of unbelievably rich billionaires. Now, they must be laughing. I can imagine one of them sitting in his 100-metre boat worth $100 million in the Mediterranean, and his computer's going ding, 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 ding. And his friend's saying, wow, what's that? And he says, that's the money coming from small Australian towns that's just shipped into me all the time. Hundreds of millions of dollars. By the way, Port Douglas, in 10 years, our small town of Port Douglas says $180 million has gone off to these people. Now, how does it work? Because you'd say, I'll say it's extortion because these country motels have to pay. I remember hearing in the 50s when around King's Cross all the hotels had to pay protection money to the crime gangs. Imagine that, protection money. It's the same thing that's happening now, except it's legalised, because in those days, if you didn't pay your protection money, $1,000, $2,000 a week, your premises were burnt down. Well, nowadays, I rang some of these motels and I said, look, why would you want to be paying these huge American multi-billionaire companies 20%, that might be all your profit? And they've said, Dick, we have to. Now 50% of bookings come from these online sites, and if we don't sign up with them, we lose 50% of our business. We go broke. I spoke to a couple of the companies, and I said, what do you think of this? And they said, Dick, we absolutely hate it. But if we don't sign up and we don't send the money, basically, we run out, our business collapses. Now, these are fantastic little family businesses, and I've always been a supporter of the travel agency industry. I always support an Aussie travel agent because the travel agent spends time in going out and helping you with your bookings and everything. But this is when you just want to call into a country town. My suggestion, by the way, is you lift up the phone and ring the motel directly. But by the way, let me tell you how corrupt this is. The motels, some of them decided to advertise on their website, and you'll find they all have their own website. You can go and book directly. But it's normally on the 4th or 5th page because these big multinational companies have a deal with Google to get a special rate, so they're on the top. When you open your Google up, the companies that go on the top are the ones who have the best deal with Google. And I asked one of the Aussie motels, why aren't you up there? They said, Dick, we can't afford it. And I said, but hold on, it'll have what if, but then your hotel name will be there. Oh, yes, they're using our money to put us up, put their website at the top, so they get the commission sent to the United States and we lose. It's absolutely outrageous.